Hello, my name is Nur Sakina binti Ramli, number matrix 2021221072. For today, I will be presenting for ELC231 oral commentary. I will be talking about a TV series called Wednesday. It's been released on November 23, 2022 on Netflix. As you can see, the one is the main poster for this TV series with the main character Wednesday Addams. The poster looks quite dark and creepy, but it's really pop out the character. So in here is the producer for this TV series. The person on the left is Miles Miller and on the right side is Alfred God. They work together on this TV series for all the episodes they make. The genre for this series is comedy, horror, and supernatural. It got 8 episodes with 1 hour duration per episode. This TV series got a lot of cast that have been staring on it. First I will talk about the main character on this TV series. This is Jenna Ortega. She plays the role called Wednesday Addams, a teenager who possesses psychic powers. She is sent to Nevermore Academy for causing mischief at several other schools. Emma Myers and Enid Sinclair, Wednesday colorful werewolf roommate at Nevermore Academy who attempts to become her friends despite Wednesday's lack of interest. She is a very happy person with a lot of color on her. She is the opposite type as Wednesday. Wednesday has a dark vibe than her. She is the first friend that Wednesday makes on the academy despite the different behavior. Sometimes they argue with each other but get back really fast. Hunter Duhan as Tyler Galpin, a barista at a local coffee shop, and Sheriff Galpin's son, who has a romantic interest in Wednesday. At first, he met Wednesday at his workplace, and at the same time she wanted a coffee, but the coffee machine broke, so he cannot make the coffee for her. Wednesday fixed the coffee machine really fast, and from that day, he has some feeling for her, like a first love side. So he tried to make some effort to make her fall in love with him, and it did work, but it got some twisted agenda. He is a bad guy in this TV series. Christina Ricci as Marilyn Thornhill and Laura Gates, the botany teacher at Nevermore Academy and dorm mothers of Wednesday and Enid. She is nice and kind to the girls in the dorm, but on the back, she got a plan to destroy the academy with some vengeance in her descent. She make a long-time plan with Tyler Galpin. Gwendolyn Christie as Principal Larissa Williams, the shape-shifting principal of Nevermore Academy, and a former student who was roommate with Morticia Adams, Wednesday Adams' mom. The character that she bought is a powerful and independent woman on taking care of her academy. The job is really heavy, but she can make it happen. She also accepts Wednesday Adams to her academy even though the report card is really bad from her older schools. Percy Hannes White as Xavier Tobbs, a student of Nevermore Academy who has the abilities to make his heart come to life. He also had a feeling with Wednesday but got rejected and accused as a monster that murdered people outside the academy. He likes painting, but every time he starts to paint, some dreams keep appearing on his head, and automatically making the paint alive with his vision from the dream. He got scared on it, but he needs to keep painting because the stress he got can be released by painting. Victor Dorobantu as Tink, a sentient disembodied hand and relative of Wednesday who is sent by Wednesday parents to watch over her at Nevermore Academy. Tink is like some living creature that used to live in, for example, cat, dogs, and other animals. But in Adam's family, they keep things like a watcher. So the Adams family sent Tink to watch over Wednesday secretly, but in the end, Wednesday found Tink hiding from her, so the plan did not work at all. Overview of plot. Wednesday Addams was expelled from school after throwing a live piranha into the school pool in retaliation from the boys' water polo team's bullying of her youngest brother Buckley. As a result, his parents commissioned Morticia Adams and enrolled her in their high school alma mater Nevermore Academy in the town of Jericho, Vermont, a private school for hideous outcasts. Wednesday's cold, callous personality and rebellious nature make it difficult for her to connect with her schoolmates and cause her to clash with the school principal. However, she discovers she has inherited his mother's psychic abilities that allow her to solve local murder mysteries. Memorable scene. Episode 1 opened with the situation surrounding Wednesday's expulsion from Nancy Reagan High School. The sequence was featured prominently in the show's trailer, so it's no surprise, but it's still one of the most accurate moments of the entire season. After finding her brother Plexus tied up in the locker, she experienced psychic visions, a threat that plays an important role in the rest of the story. The psychic visions tells him that the school's water polo team is responsible for his brother's torments and take revenge by dropping a school of piranhas into the pool during practice. This caused him to be expelled and begins his journey to the Nevermore. Episode 2, Searching for an Answer to the Mystery of Nevermore, Wednesday finds a school statue of Edgar Allan Poe. He solved a riddle written on the book he was holding that told him to snap his finger twice. When she did, the statue slid aside to reveal steps to a hidden library. It was a classic Wednesday that showed not only her intellect but her single-minded purpose. More importantly, this allowed her to snap the Addams family in the world for the first time. Episode 2 ends with Wednesday being kidnapped by an unknown party. Episode 3 opens with her tied to a chair and surrounded by evil masked figures. They turn out to be members of the school's secret society, the Nightshades, and of course, they're out of the league. She sees their identity immediately, despite the mask, then declines their half-baked invitation to join them. After easily freeing herself from their bonds, she left, do not before telling them how disappointing this experience had been. Amateurs like you give kidnapping a bad name, she said with his signature deadpan. No curse or insult cut them deeper. Also, episode 3 entails a visit to a pilgrim world, the big tourist attraction in the nearby town of Jericho. Wednesday and her classmates end up working there for days as a part of an outreach program with Nevermore. She finds herself in a pilgrim's outfit hawking free samples at the older forgery, and gets even by explaining the true history of purge and colonialism to a group of German tourists. So 4, climax at Nevermore's annual school dance, The Raven. It ends with a sharp parody of 1976 Carrie as the local Tony's ranch. The attendants in fact big bloods. Before they, however, Wednesday absolutely on the dance floor with her respective moves of to the Grams, Google Mug. The sequence echoes one of the most memorable moments in the Addams Family TV series from 1960s. 5. Wednesday wasn't the only Adams who had a rough night at Raven's. 30 years ago, her father Gomez was accused of murders at the same dance. He was never charged when he returned to the Nevermore for Parents Weekend in season 1, episode 5, and finds himself under arrest. Wednesday breaks from previous Addams Family adaptations by giving the title character a more adversarial relationship with her parents, particularly her mother Morticia. Her efforts to solve the mystery result in reconciliation, which include the pair exhuming a corpse together, among other things, leading Morticia to explain more about Wednesday's psychic powers. It's a change not only for Ortega to show a fresh side of Wednesday, but for Catherine Zeta-Jones to stretch her wing as Mama Addams. Setting: Jericho 2. This is a real-life Jericho. Vernon, the entire Wednesday town, was built for the show at the Bucharest Film Studios, also known as the BUFT Studios. They include the town square, Pilgrim World, and the sheriff's house. Overall opinion of the movie: all in all, Wednesday was a fun departure from the usual let's remake the Addams Family mode that the curator often fall into. The approach is novel and Jenna Ortega is a breath of fresh air in the role. Giving Wednesday a purpose other than being dark and gloomy with a chip on her shoulder gives even the most die-hard fans a reason to tune in to see what she will do next in her mission to break out of Nevermore Academy. Oh, and find out who's behind the killing spree. Sure, it's weird to make Wednesday a savior like every other show you can think of, starring annoying teenagers, but somehow it works here. Even if it makes more sense to keep Miss Addams with her family as we end, so the dynamic loss is a bit. Still, there's a new world to explore in Nevermore with strange new characters that you won't be able to figure out right away. The unknown element has elevated the series into something more promising, and Ortega launched into the role with a surprising amount of grace and creativity given that she already has a big shoes to fill in for Ricky. True, the actress has her own character to play on Wednesday as Nevermore alum Marilyn Thornhill. Ortega's star power alone helped propel the series from the very beginning into a watchable interest twist on a mediocre franchise. It's not all good, of course, as most of the dialogue is downright awful and unlike how teenagers actually communicate with each other, but this can be ignored, even if it drags what should be considered higher-end Netflix quality content down to the CW level. But overall, it's a fun show that youngest people will definitely enjoy, even with its sometimes frustrating approach to world building and scene setting. Stream it! The Addams Family has long captivated audience, especially Wednesday's gruesome style and deadly behavior. While this adaptation makes some strange decisions, it ultimately works in a strange way, which will appeal to old and new viewers alike. Try to ignore some of the fellow teenager dialogue from time to time, which is here in abundance. Value, value of teamwork, value of human relations, and value of tolerance. That's all for me. Thank you for listening.